Welcome, everyone. My name is Megan Leaders. I am the Chief Marketing Officer of Sonatype, and I'm so excited you've joined us today. We have an incredible discussion with Smit Patel. He is a Program Director of Digital Medicine Society, otherwise known to us as DIME, and very much appreciate you joining us today, Smit.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So, Smit, you are a guest here on our discussion where we are focused on regulation to innovate, navigating software security and regulations for medical devices. So you're setting up this wonderful insight today, but we should first talk about Dime. Who are you? How does Dime play into this world of regulation? Give us a little bit of background.
Absolutely. Happy to. And what a fun topic, isn't it? It's the Diamond Digital Medicine Society. We are a global nonprofit and a professional home for Digital Medicine Society. And our mission is to advance safe, effective, and equitable use of digital technologies to improve and better human life. And with that purpose, we convene multiple different stakeholders in a pre-competitive space, try to work with the government agency leaders, our industry leaders to define what good looks like in healthcare. And I look forward to discussing about some of the regulatory world implications and everything about cybersecurity today.
So this compliance and this regulation that we're talking about really stems under a bigger category that we often refer to as SBOM, software bill of materials. Perhaps let's go deep a little bit on this. The why SBOM is critical, what extension, it's more than just the device. It's really this extension of how other vendors, other providers that influence how that device is getting built is also now kind of under scrutiny to make sure that we have a full line of sight of what components, what software went in to these devices. Maybe explain the context of why and how significant this is, not only to the device company, but to the customers at large, you and I, who may be using these devices.
Diving into SBOM, and for folks who may have not heard of this terminology, SBOMs are software bill of materials are essentially, in a layman's term, an inventory of a list of software components in a device. So it includes open source softwares, it includes proprietary elements, it includes a comprehensive view across when an update history is being made. What's the origin of the history? What are the software versions? What are the dependencies across it? Because let's be real, today's approach of software development is no longer where there are 10 coders sitting in a dark room with a bunch of snacks and writing every single code. That is not the case. Ask my cousins in 2000s. They would say how it was done. Today, I think we are incorporating, when we develop a device, various kinds of software stacks on top of off-the-shelf software components. We have modules and libraries from different sources, and sometimes a multitude of that framework that happens across software may have vulnerabilities. So what they should know is looking into creating essentially an SBOM, software bill of materials, that is not only now, as of earlier this year, required by FDA, but also that helps do three things. One, vulnerability management. How do we think about managing any kind of potential vulnerabilities that comes down the pike? And I'll give you an example. Say in a hospital system, when there are a large number of ventilators, ICU beds, IV pumps, 500 ventilators in an ICU unit for a hospital are running half on version control that are vulnerable, half that has been updated. That creates a concerning ecosystem because of the high risk of multiple softwares being incorporated and not having an SBOM in place. That is a high risk of management. You can't trace it back around which device specifically is at the vulnerable risk of getting a cyber attack that can lead to a demise of a larger healthcare organization's operations. Second is also about compliance and reporting. So when we look at it, apart from FDA's requirements, these SBOMs help regulatory requirements to identify and compile some of these. And last but not the least, the supply chain. We know that healthcare exists on a complex supply chain. We also know that large healthcare systems and organizations work on multiple different software components from different suppliers and vendors, and third-party entities. So having a better control over having an SBOM that provides the better control and oversight on controlling the supply chain, but also managing vulnerabilities, really good practice and a building block that developers should think about.
Any piece of advice or recommendation you'd like to leave for the developer community today, as they are the ones that will start to see or hear perhaps a little bit more about SBOMs. Clearly, it might be more of a DevOps or security operations that's really focused on this. But any message you want to leave to the developer community that may be hearing more and more about SBOMs, and in particular to the medical device or healthcare industry?
I think we are at a watershed moment where healthcare ecosystem is getting more and more connected. We have connected healthcare systems, we have integrated products and platforms, we have multitude of devices where data streams are flowing into one. It's complicated and regulations are evolving. If there's one piece of recommendation that I would like to think of regulatory strategy as your differential business strategy. And what I mean by that is, while regulations will evolve, while there will be technological advancements, while your device will get updated, keeping pace to the regulatory compliances and guidance that come out will only augment the trustworthy and effective innovations that you build for your products, for your organization, for even your clients that you serve. And I think that will create a more bulletproof environment for reducing any future vulnerabilities that gets attacked. And I always like to reframe as a clinician, and also supporting a lot of developers and innovators in our field, is we are building this for us. We are building this for our families. We are building a safe, secure, trustworthy, and a transparent environment for our healthcare data and a lot of future generations of these healthcare data.
It is not just about checking a checkbox. We are really ensuring the integrity of the business that we're running, but really, in this case, the lives that we are making possible and want to secure and ensure the longevity of the health of these individuals. So, Smit, this was fabulous. Thank you so much for joining. If people want to get more resources, of course, they could check out Sonatype, but I guess it'd be fair to say they should be checking out your organization, Digital Medicine Society, otherwise known as DIME, for more information. Is there anything else that you want to leave with the audience before we wrap up?
Absolutely, Megan. We at Dime, all the resources that we build as a nonprofit, we keep it open source. So we work with our FDA group in a pre-competitive space alongside 18 different large to small medtech organization, all the way from Google to Harvard, to build 50 plus resources as a part of US regulatory pathway that helps you navigate these complex regulatory ecosystem, that helps you identify what product classifications you are, what kind of security measures you should have, what kind of resources as you engage with FDA for some of these questions that you may have, informal or formal pathways that you can take are as a part of it. And we have a library of regulations that you can filter through what are the draft and final in US versus globally alongside. So I welcome to for you to check it out if there's something that you are struggling or you are looking forward to as you think about navigating this complex ecosystem.
That's right. Well, this is why we love partnering with you. You have been a fabulous guest today, but really a great partner to Sonatype. Greatly appreciate you joining us today. Thank you all for tuning in to Regulate to Innovate, and wish you well on your regulatory journey as it pertains to medical devices and healthcare. Thank you all.